the truth.
Hey everyone, so today I think we need to have a bit of a chat. There's almost a issue with the way that we do videos here where it's going to be like, hey, there's a new game feature, let's do a guide on the new feature. Or there's a new bit of lore, let's talk about the lore.
Naturally.
And sometimes that means that I don't really have a way to talk to you about what's actually going on, even when we all can feel that something is a little off. I feel like a lot of our content, I haven't been able to speak to like what I think a lot of you are actually feeling, right, in the Warcraft space. So it's kind of...
There's such an important thing with games, and it's the vibe check with a game. And I think that that's probably the best way that I can describe the difference between, let's say, Cyberpunk and Starfield. It's like Cyberpunk doesn't just meet the vibe check, it hits it. Whereas, like, Starfield is like, this is a video game. And if the vibe check of a game isn't there, then the game just isn't successful, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. The style, everything about it, immersion.
Kind of time to do that now. Things are a bit strange, right? I mean, by most design metrics, the narrative around WoW has been pretty...
Look at this, bro. Like, remember back whenever, fucking that guy in Warcraft II held the other dude's severed head up? Remember that? And then whenever they used to, like, you know, fucking, like, just, like, torture people and shit, the orcs used to do that? Yeah. And now we have this. It's a different vibe.
Good. The team of actions on our feedback. So why do things feel odd? I mean, I'm surely not the only person who's felt this. I kind of asked a bunch of probing questions on Twitter, right? I got like 1,850 replies, it's probably over 2,000 now. I got DMs from people who I cannot identify to you, but I like wasn't surprised. I was like, whoa, they said that too. And yes, I think a lot of us agree that something feels a bit odd. It seems that no matter what the WoW team does, people just don't care, right?
It's because it's again, this is just a bunch of sissy femboy bitch stuff. Like, you go to BlizzCon, and yeah, there's like different people there, but like, the main audience is fat dudes with Horde t-shirts, wearing cargo pants, and like sandals. That's really, that's the heart of the fucking community. And now they're bald. Yeah, they were walking around 10 years ago and they were balding. Now they're actually bald. And that's it. That's the heart of the community.
And that's even when right now, we have more content being pumped into the game than in years. And from working in that space, like, I do get a very visceral feeling of what stuff's...
He's the only one I like, by the way. Evan Horn is the only one I like. I think Alex Strauss is, like, she's hot, and that's it. Like, Caligos is a pussy. Nosdormo is just, like, a weird... It's just a weirdo. Alex Straza is just, like, okay. Like, who cares? This guy's cool. But the rest of them, who cares?
What stuff's like, as in, you know, we do content about gearing and people are like, gearing, shit and boring, don't care. You know, I got that immediate feedback.
I think also there's a problem where, like, WoW just has such a, like, the game has been the same, really, every single patch has been the same ever since Legion. In, like, a very abstract sense. And I understand this might be hard for people to, like, think about, because, like, obviously, like, 8.3, you had corruptions and, like, everything like that. But, like, really, it's been the exact same thing. Like, everything gets reset, you do the new raid, you do the new Mythic Plus dungeons, and then you get your Pinnacle of Gear, and then you wait for the next time for it to happen. It's formulaic. Yes, it is.
What is it?
Corruption was so fun. Corruption was fucking insane.
What?
You know, they say that an angry audience isn't what kills your game, it's an apathetic audience that kills your game. You know, people just stop caring, and now you've lost the ability to reach them again.
Yeah.
I mean, by Shadowlands, people were being sucked into this black hole of apathy, right? And Dragonflight...
Well, I think that people were still mad in Shadowlands. People were definitely still mad about the game, and they were angry about Torghast, about Covenants, and everything like that. But then, like, yeah, it's apathy that killed the game. It's kind of funny to see how WoW is pussified the exact same rate as media, getting more and more sensitive and whiny. I unironically agree. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. I fucking unironically agree. I think that there should be a rule in WoW cinematics that a character can never talk about how they feel.
Yes, me lord. Ready to work. Yes,
Never.
me lord. All right.
I don't want to hear about, oh, this was stressful for me. Shut up.
It is good, but we've all felt it. It's a bit funny with videos as well.
Remember, like, whenever Varian on the Legion cinematic, he looks at his son, and it's just like absolute fucking raw masculinity, and like he thinks he's like, yeah, I'm trying to build a better world for my son and for the Alliance. And he walks out on his fucking airship and he's about to go to war. And then he fucking goes to war. He fights this dude. He fucking ends up stopping the Fell Reaper, sacrifices himself. Like, what he's talking about, like, man, this is really depressing, you know? At first, I was a gladiator. I didn't remember my thoughts. Now I'm back and I can't even spend time with my son. This is depressing. Bro, what the fuck? Nobody gives a fuck about this shit. Shut up, man. Look at it. What a pussy.
Job done.
Come on, man. The difference is the good characters used to show you how they felt with their actions. Now the new pussy characters straight up tell you how they feel. A good example of that, and this is a recent example that I think Blizzard did do well, was that that little troll, the Zappy Boy troll, and Sarfang. Like, that one was actually good. Everything else... Garrosh did nothing wrong. I will re-emphasize the truth of that statement. If Garrosh was still the war chief of the Horde, there would be a better chance that I would record him. Garrosh did do nothing wrong. He was totally in the right. He was the best.
Job done.
And Garrosh should have killed Thrall and won.
Off I go then.
It should have happened. And I understand that the game, again, they're being pussies about it, but they should have done it. Karen did nothing wrong too. True. And to be honest, Karen would have beat the fuck out of Garrosh, right? Like, I mean, let's be real. But like, you know, you got poisoned. Yeah, Karen was a badass.
Normally gearing guides do pretty well on the channel. This time, the gearing's like really alt-friendly, it's pretty brisk, there's a lot of ways you can just go and do shit as a player, and it's free from a lot of bullshit that's been there in the past. Put the video out, crickets. Leveling speeds, they're super fast right now with some of the just doing things right that we worked out in a recent video. That video comes out, crickets. But it's not like...
Well, do you know why? It's because people are just not interested in learning how to play the game, because it's very easy, right? It's very easy to figure things out. There are so many tools to do it, and it's like, oh, how can I figure out this new system? Meet the new system, same as the old system. It's the same thing. People have done it so many times.
What is it?
I'm sitting here like waiting to I know the content's not doing well. Because I also know that the only content that we really do in this channel that actually starts to do well
is when you talk about the game, you talk about like the future of Classic Plus or something like that. Is that what he's gonna say?
Is things like, say, the WoW team talking about the future of the game, like with the World Re...
Yeah.
That video that came out yesterday, or the video, there's a news video where I covered Chris Matson coming back and Ian has just commenting on it. Those hit people. And to me that really does...
Is it free watch, or is it the fact that I made WoW content for multiple years, and I actually even made content with Belior back in the day, and we had those exact same issues even then?
Tell you something. A lot of people are in the black hole of apathy, right? They're past the event horizon, we just can't let them back. There are still people who are on the brink, and improvement isn't what they want anymore. What they want is something that's big, because the apathy is coming for them. And like with how the leveling and gearing content did, it's the same with patch 10.2, because 10.2, actually when you go through the interviews, it has really great changes to the game. There's great work being done in classes. I mean, look at this, ultimate penance. Like, my main can do that now, that's sick. But if you watch the WoWcast, and you see what people's reaction.
But like, is that as sick as whenever, for example, like the Crucible Knight pulls out the wings in the second phase, and he fucking charges in and spears you? No, it's not even remotely fucking close. It's just some floaty boy that goes up in the air with little wings.
Job done.
And he goes.
Job done.
It's like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Town is
under siege.
What is this?
Yes, my lord. Yes,
Actions
my
are,
lord.
you just think, oh, it's all more of the same. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, it's time to talk.
Alien Goddess, the new suprafloral perfume, Mugler.
Talk about how WoW's expansion that has the best player retention in years is somehow not translating to people wanting to come back. It's strange.
because it's like you make the same game for 8 years, and eventually you're gonna find people that like playing it over and over. That's just how it is. It's not really a surprise. It's, I mean, damn.
Yes, my
Why
lord.
need someone like Ultimate or Sephiroth to destroy the planet, reset the world? Well, they had to.
Yes, my lord. Then.
It's so dated. I think this
Yes,
looks
my lord.
fine. It survived.
I think things are going to get to a better place, but first, I think we've got to go through the grim stuff.
More
And
work.
there's one thing that's really simple.
More lumber
This,
is required.
right now, isn't many people's definition of Warcraft.
No,
I'm not
it's
saying
not.
that's the biggest thing, but it's a lot of lore, setting. Kind of like evolved into esoteric bullshit, didn't it? Totally badly. I mean, Legion, what was that?
See?
More lumber is required.
See?
Town is
This
under
is the way it
siege.
used to fucking be.
More lumber is required.
And even Legion wasn't even nearly as fucking absolute raw and masculine as something like Warlords of Draenor. Holy fuck, that was crazy. Warcraft II, Warcraft III.
Off I go then.
It was the big evil demon people.
Easy.
Yeah.
And the biggest invasion ever. And then we go to their home world and take them down. And it's all charged with like Larian, Turalian, Return, stuff, history stuff, Illidan's back, Valiant.
It was so fucking badass. Illidan blocks Terral. Like, that was like such a... Like, can you imagine being a paladin and watching that cinematic where Illidan just blocks Turalian's way with his hand?
Easy.
Our town is under siege.
Fucking sad.
Finally going to deal with all of the crazy stuff. So if you like the Draenor, it was so good, right? It was big, you know, action movie. Shadowlands and DFA, though, I mean, who really gave it to us? For a while, we all just went, oh, here's a good question about your shadow with
Job
BFA.
done.
Is it if Illidan didn't get locked away in
Easy.
the Pantheon with
Town is
Sargeras?
under siege.
Yes, me lord.
Do you think that fucking tree would have burnt down? Probably not. There's no way that shit would have happened if Illidan was still in the story.
Talking about
Zamash should be dead,
speculation,
yeah.
speculation. But then people kind of realized, hang on, where's the meat? Because WoW was never really about light, order, fell, different parts of the cosmic chart squabbling. That's not what running around as a movie in Darkshire was.
Well, I think that to a certain degree it was. It's just that, like,
Off I go then.
it's again kind of like the problem that I was saying with like Wizards of the Coast. Whenever you get into like such an abstract form of fantasy storytelling because you're too afraid of the stories having any real life correlation, like you become so abstract in making such bland and boring stories that they're not relatable. Like, for example, look at the Onyxia questline. The Onyxia questline is very understandable, it's personal, it's about the interpersonal conflicts between people, and it's very raw. You know, there's not like this like big cosmic entity and like this struggle or whatever. And I don't think that's necessarily a problem, right? Because you can have bosses like Yogg Saron. Why is Yogg Saron evil? Because he's in, what do you fuck do you mean why is he? It's oh god, like shut up, kill him. Right? There's no nuance to this. So it's not like it can be bad. but it's just like the
Upgrade complete.
the greater.
Upgrade complete.
I think that like whenever you get
Forces
into
are
like
under
cosmic
attack.
struggles and like
Town is
the
under
struggles
siege.
like different with cosmic forces, they're better told as like an abstract. And I'll give you like kind of a like kind of a good example of this, I think, is Marvel, the current Marvel movies, like the Celestials, and like there is no way that they can add Galactus into the Marvel movies and have it not be a
Town
joke.
is under siege.
It's the same as the Celestials. They're just so, like, they're the living tribunal, or some kind of like crazy, abstract, hyper-powerful, like, massive, planet-devouring, like, entity. You just can't, it's incomprehensible. You can't, like, these things should exist, but they should exist as, like, a shadow. I think that's the best way I can say it. They should exist as a shadow, and they should never be directly interacted. I think that's also one of the reasons why. Sorry, I just paused fucking again. That's the other reason why I think the Lord of the Rings mythology works so well. Is that you can watch Lord of the Rings and you can not know anything of the mythology of the game in any capacity. You don't know any lore. But if you learn the lore, it means more. Yeah, it's the Valar and Lord of the Rings. Yes, the Valar and Lord of the Rings. Does it matter that, like, you know, Gandalf's real name is Elrond and has been sent by Manwë, the Valar, to stop fucking Sauron? Like, no, it doesn't fucking matter. It's completely irrelevant. But, like, and, like, you don't interact with those characters. And they are a shadow of the story. Your source of one shit makes it easier and effort. Yeah, it enhances the story even further. Exactly. Mithrandir? No, Mithrandir I think is the name that he was given by the elves, but his actual name as a Maiar spirit was Olin. Olin is Maiar name? Yeah. Thank you very much for trying to correct me on something about the word. Yeah. Better luck next time.
Even when it was touching those big things, it was about massive, unknowable gods that we'll probably never see again. That's how, you know, you delve into their ruins and you work out crazy mysteries and lore. But like, you know, it wasn't about like the forces of death having secret agents working in a kind of void sense who then
I think this probably could have been fun. Like, I guarantee you that if the people that made the narrative for something like Hades made a story like this, it's a very different type of story. I bet they could have probably done a better job and the story would have been good. I actually think that, you know, it's again, a bad craftsman blames his tools. If you gave the From Software war team, you gave them this story, they could make it work.
Backpills the champion aboard to turn him into a massive fell doomer so that he can stop the Void Lords from coming to claim the soul of our world. The soul of our world that I guess, I mean, I don't know, is it a big battery? Is this a Halo ring situation?
This was the only cool part of it. This was actually so fucking cool. Like, whoever thought of this is fucking
Did the prophet of whatever
so
go
bad.
and travel to the Ark to turn on all Halo installations? Because that's kind of what Zereth Mortis stuff felt like. No, it was about, oh look, demons, infinite army.
Well, it's also like you look at Halo, right? What was, in my opinion, the Halo 2, like, what the fuck? The moment that takes the story from being this big and makes it this big. The cinematic with Grave, right? Where he's holding the Arbiter and he's holding Master Chief. And he's like, and like you finish that cinematic and you're like, what the fuck? Because you thought the game was this big and it turns out to be this big. So again, it is not the problem because it is science fiction or sci-fi or anything like that.
Insane big was the War of the Ancients, an enemy so large it was unfathomable, passing the greatest heroes of the land, creating these epic, big moments, you know, be that Varian, be that Grom dying, right? That lore that, like, it wasn't about the cosmic forces, no, it was about those characters, right? And those cool things.
Well, it's also about having characters that people like. and this is a very important fact, that like a lot of the people that play Warcraft, I think, are guys that want to see masculine, badass characters. And I didn't like how they made Rathian seem like a pompous little bitch. At the beginning of you look, they acted like such a weird bitch. Like, what are you, why are you acting like a weird bitch? Stop it. That's not, this isn't the Rathian, I know. You're just making him act this way so it makes sense for Evan Horn to take over the Dragonflight. Get the fuck out of here. It was so weird. He's always been a bit of a bitch, but he was more of a selfless bitch. And then it just like all the fucks like, yeah, Evelyn punched him too hard. Yeah, maybe that was it. Then it was so weird because, dude, Rathian is like one of the coolest characters, one of the coolest new characters. And I just think they turned him into being so I didn't like that at all. And so, yeah, that happened. And then also, like, a lot of these other characters, they're like, oh, this is a complex character. Well, yeah, it's a complex character, and I'm sure you like it if you're a femboy. The fuck is this? What is this pussy shit? What's going on? What the? I didn't care about anything except for trying to do the right thing. Yes, Ravage was a chaotic good character.
I think what happened is the background, the speculation that we all started to have fun doing, they kind of misunderstood that and seemingly tried to make that like way more of the actual heart of the game. I mean, we all know there's border stuff going on, but like how many times in Dragonflight the characters just talked about
they should have had Razageth have a good form, because like, bro, you know, like Razageth had a lot of kids and she was crazy. Right? Like, she was absolutely fucking insane. Probably one of the most insane characters Blizzard's ever made. So you fucking know she would be hot as hell, right? You definitely should have seen her. Well, yeah, she should be like ridiculously fucking
below, and it's like
a hot, big titty goth girl.
Because that's how I took
nobody else has put up
Lord
for
Trooper. But you character, you exist within that world.
Yeah.
And I think where this really happened, where it really stung, it was betrayal. It was changing like what the world felt like and deconstructing and replacing the cool stuff with stuff that ended up being and then they would exploded this and then they could fuck up the delivery. I mean, take a back to the last one, right? That was really cool. Met some similarities of how he last thing met some work done before he left Blizzard. And then what happens as soon as they get in? Well, the battlefield is so good.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, dude, Rayman looks so fucking good in this set.
Craswell isn't really that fast for Craswell. They, at lightning pace, go through like 2 expansions worth of material. They deconstruct and ruin so much of the fundamental lore that people really liked. And they just exploited it. And then you look at, you know, oh look, Sylvanas fighting the Lich King. And it kind of sucked that, you know, Bolvar just got utterly jobbed. But you then go into Shadowlands, and Shadowlands doesn't even do a good job of like matching the premise of its cinematic. Like, what did Bolvar do? He did barely anything in that
Like, Bolvar, and the thing is, right, Bolvar was a straight up cheat. Like, Bolvar was the one who called out Onyxia. He said, hold up, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is it, right? Yeah. And so, but then he just turned into being a bitch. This was obviously, like, I think this cinematic would have been fine if there was just, like, if it made more sense. I don't even have a problem with, like, the outcome of the cinematic. I just think the way they were just done like that. But, like, even, and like, the sad thing is, like, even inside of the cinematic, there was, like, a really, really good scene where, like, let's be honest, everybody thought Sylvanas was going to do it. Everybody thought she was going to do it. She held it up to the but I didn't fucking expect it. That was really cool.
Sylvanas, we actually didn't even get that much of Sylvanas at acting as the main villain, so Val was kind of useless. Just show some decisions. Oh no! So the worst about decisions. In one case, because we took it into his house. I mean,
Upgrade complete. Our town is
Yeah,
under
that was
siege.
kind of a mistake.
the level of messing everything up. But most importantly, taking what people loved of Warcraft 3 and the Frozen Throne, and then saying, the amount of things that so many people is the big felt like
Remember when everybody took the Witch King's crown and turned it into This is the new Witch King crown.
Our town is under siege.
Yes, my lord.
I'm the Witch King
Off
now.
I go then. What is it?
Look at me.
Righto.
I'm the Lord of the Dead.
You want? What is it? What?
Oh my god.
Our allied town is
Off I
under
go
siege.
then. Job done. Job done.
pretty much was a bunch of people doing really bad things.
Work done. All
But
right.
if Dragonflight is so much better, then surely those problems are solved, right? And that's the weird thing about the Dragonflight era. Compare the Dragonflight cinematic to like any other one, even the Shadowlands one. I mean, it's just, hey, happiness, dragons.
I don't really have a problem with the cinematic that much. It's just that, like, it definitely wasn't like the same. Like, look, it wasn't World War II. It wasn't. It was kind of dull, but yeah, it wasn't not World War II. Type of.
The Stone Watcher dude climbs up the big tower and shoots the party I was like, we see some of Razageth, who of course we just smashed down in the first raid tier. Like, it did feel kind of like a whole load of nothing. And then you actually get into this expansion, and the side quests are actually pretty damn good. But once more, we're going around.
Yeah, no, the quest and narrative of Dragonflight was the best that they've ever done. If you want to talk about like how it was designed and everything, it was very well done.
Son MacGuffin. Now, the Pillars of Creation were not strong, they happened in Legion. But it feels to me like, you know, oh, 5 pillars, 5 this, 5 that from Il'gynoth. Now we've got to empower the different oak stones. And recently I was thinking, like, why am I empowering an oak stone? What is an oak stone? What if, like, something happened? And instead of going around and turning on oak stones, whatever that means, we actually were, you know, doing cool shit. And then show no
What
tell,
if?
right? Like, one of the most simple things. Show, don't tell. And the amount of that being utterly violated by this expansion. I mean,
Like, look at the Wrath of the Witch King cinematic. Look at the Cataclysm cinematic. Show, don't tell. Shit's getting fucked up.
Under siege complete.
Righto. Ready to
World of
rest,
Warcraft
my lord.
storytelling is absolutely tell instead of show. And it's like, can they not afford to show these cool things? Are they not interested in making like cool gameplay scenarios in the game? It's happening to the extreme. I mean, you do some basic boring quests, and then characters just talk about their feelings with each other. I'm like,
Our allied town is under siege.
See? There it is. I fucking knew it. Exactly.
Our forces
Fucking
are under
exactly.
attack.
That's right.
that's another side of it too. What is going on with like the raids?
Nobody cares. That was great. And by the way, like, she was a bitch. She was, man. Like, come on. Everybody knows that. She knows that. And they took it out of the game. I think that is the remember what I was talking about with like mining canaries?
Town is under siege.
Mining canaries in stories and games where it's like, this isn't a problem in itself, but it's going to be indicative of a much deeper problem to come. That was the fucking mining canary, right there. They really removed it, yes. They removed Garrosh calling Sylvanas a bitch. Fun fact, warriors in Western society facing more than threats and PTSD don't talk about their feelings. Making all of them talk about their feelings is weird.
Job's done. Off I go
Our
then.
town is under
You know
siege.
why?
Job's done.
Because this is a fantasy.
Job's done.
That's right.
Build them. It's
It's a
job's
fantasy.
done. Off I go
And like,
then.
you know what, Thrall?
Job's done.
You know, Thrall got to
Job's
express
done.
his
Job's
feelings
done.
whenever he
Job's
conquered
done. Job's
Durotar
done.
and
Job's
Kalimdor,
done.
and he named Durotar after his
We're
father.
under attack.
All right. Job's done. Off I go then. Job's
Show,
done.
don't tell.
Righto. Yes, me lord. Job's done. Job's done, lord.
Whole time. It's like,
Job's
where's
done.
where's the diversity in our
Pussification,
narratives
yep.
in the game? Kind of it, it's just, yeah, kind of ridiculous, feel-good nonsense. And the thing is, like, it's just boring. Like, that's its biggest crime. Even if it's good without written, it just ends up being boring. And this is an MMORPG. I mean, at best, you've got the likes of, say, warcraft, right? Where they're actually compelling characters who are very good at screen time. At worst, though, it's like all of the, you know, the therapy babble bullshit that's greatly credulity and importantly is just way too dominant. Like, balance is important. You can do that more. The cool stuff should be talked about too. But like, you can have that. For me, the problem is it's just so easy to write stuff in good storytelling. But like, they can do the more soft stuff. But you gotta balance that with some stuff that's actually got teeth and claw, or else soft stuff, it's just more nothing, right? Just the amount of time is being I see, you know, I understand my feelings, I'm now being accepted by the community, and
Towns are under
it's
siege.
Easy.
Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. Our allies' town is under siege.
Yeah,
Town is under
and it's
siege
just
or under
so
attack.
generic, man. And also, there's an insane inconsistency, and I think a great example of this is the Night Elf versus Forsaken quests. Because, like, or even you could say the 10.1 campaign quests versus the 10.2 campaign quests. I don't know how this is being rolled out, but, like, take the Night Elf one. It's essentially Lysander, a total Mary Sue. You may as well call him friggin' Wesley Crusher. You know, Trek, shut up Wesley, etc., etc. Just going around kind of scolding Maiev. It's like, yeah, some 19-year-old Zoomer. I think Matt's actually working the breakdown that I'll be recording soon for this. But it's like, yeah, some Zoomer comes in, just kind of like, Maiev, I know more about Fel than you, even though Maev's like this pretty legendary character from Hunting Demons and shit for like 10,000 years.
Yeah, didn't she get like, she kind of got it. I feel like that's kind of a big deal. Like, it's a really big deal.
And it just feels rubbish. But then you go to the Forsaken quest, and the Forsaken quest is what the Forsaken are. It's gritty, it's gruesome, it's brilliant. The Bronzefly filled stuff. I mean, the amount of just like, oh, Cronin feels sad. Now Cronin feel good. Cronin how glad the noise going on.
Motherfuckers do not care about Tommy. The only thing Tommy is ever good for is doing a quest in Eastern Plaguelands. Western Plaguelands. Think I give a fuck about this character? Who cares?
Happy, happy, happy. You know, Norse normally was sad and depressed. When people do something for him, now he's not sad and depressed. And it's like, do you know what you could have done? How cool that could have been? And instead, it just ended up being more padded, rude, soft bullshit.
Fucking true. True. Abso-fucking-lutely. There you go. It's just so true Disney game. Yeah, exactly.
It was very cool and respectable. I know. Like, whenever I talk about, say, this ain't good. I was like, hey, I won't lie to feel like this. And the next thing that I posted was,
Yeah, oh, and by the way, you know what broke through, killed everybody, men, women, and children, and paved the entire pathway to the Dark Portal with their bones. That's why it's called the Trail of Destiny. That's right. You know, Bernie Crusade. Path of, oh no, sorry guys, the Path of Glory. Even better. Fucking even better. The Path of Glory. Yeah, no pussies allowed.
To show that, like, Warcraft bring itself on another planet with, you know, fighting all these things out. It can still be a badass. That's sort of fun. It's like, you want WoW to make us feel like that, not WoW to be what it's basically delivering us like. So that's one of the big things. Cool stuff just doesn't happen. And it's not told like gameplay. I mean, you can take that for the whole situation being got corrected in terms of quest design.
And think about the Dark Portal itself. I've said this before. You know the two guys with the swords in the Dark Portal? They were meant to be the original Death Knights raised by the Horde to symbolize the Horde's control and mastery over the realm of death, and to strike fear into anyone who sees them. Yeah, so basically, I'll show you guys. I want you guys to see two pictures. So this is what it used to be. This is Terran Gorfian, the first ever Death Knight.
Our allies' town is under
This
siege.
is what Death Knights used to be.
Our town is under siege.
There it is. Death Knights used to be
Our
fucking
allies' town
scary.
is under siege.
It used to be fucking awesome.
Our
It would make
town
people
is
burn
under
and
siege.
bleed from their insides. They were the coolest fucking characters.
Take also in Wrath of the Lich King, whenever
Like
you're
a
first
burrito,
pushing
yeah.
into Ice Crown, and
forces
you
are
and
under
they use a lot of
attack.
phasing for this, so it kind of bugs out if you've got loads of party members. But
Whoa,
fundamentally, like, you build up the Argent base. You know, there's like a big battle and everything, and it's got spectacular. It's kind of when it's just like enjoyable. So much of Dragon Ball bonfire stuff. It's another example of what BFA did. Where BFA just chewed through so much stuff, and it kind of was a letdown. It's like N'Zoth Nyloth. That should have been one of the most exciting things to have in the game. Yeah, they blew through that in a single patch, and it was just depthless and rubbish. It's like,
I'm gonna say it again.
Our allies'
I think
town is
BFA
under
should have
siege.
happened exactly the way that it did. Shadowlands should have happened
Build more
exactly the way that it did. And the ending cinematic for Shadowlands should have been Zoval telling you that you got sent to the Shadowlands because N'Zoth
Our
actually
allies'
won.
town is under siege.
He killed everyone, and now he's going to reset the cosmos to fight against the old gods. The massive fucking plot twist that would have been. And you come back to Azeroth, and it's been like 50 years later. Everything's ravaged by the void. Stormwind is full of like weird parasites and like these monsters. Oh yeah, it would be fucking insane. That's what should have happened.
Our
It
allies'
would have made
town
everything
you know, this
make
Bronze
sense.
Dragon thing feels like another sort of a small version of that, right? So I think they've messed all this stuff up. And again, I'm not saying that this is, you know, the people who love a classic are sitting there reading the quest text, right? I'm not saying that.
allies' town
I'm
is
saying the
under
tone
siege.
of the world, the feeling of the world, the cool shit that happens when you're doing stuff.
I think that this is a problem. Galactus, right? Is that like the power levels and things like that are so abstract that they're not really, you can't really appreciate them in the same way. It's why I think, like, for example, the best like Dragon Ball Z series were like the early ones. Where like before they just had like, you know, this like insane, ridiculous fucking power. Like now apparently like Dragon Ball Super, it's just like so crazy, right? Frieza and Cell Saga, right? I think Cell Saga is the
It's just not there. I
Our
mean,
allies' town is
why
under
did
siege.
Karak not try to burn down some sort of crazy big scenario where, you know, we defend the city? when, you know, the aspects are really pushed back and truly harmed by Farak. Maybe Farak and Viranoth work together to cause a lot of damage to us, which then would fuel, I mean, so much more character drama between Viranoth, Alexstrasza, and Farak. Because instead, what do we get? A whole bunch of characters telling each other things in dialogue. And that's just continually happened. And I think that's just meant it ain't cool. World of Warcraft used to be cool. Now, it's not just that, it's also the game. And this is where I think I had a little bit of introspection as well. For a long time as a community, what have we done? We've focused on pain points. We've said, this has been annoying, I don't like grinding for that, this doesn't feel intuitive, etc., etc. Now, those are actually important design things to be sure, and I'm really happy with where a bunch of gearing has developed, right? But we kind of got in this weird loop, you know? Artifacts are big and cool, but, you know, they, sometimes they're a bit messy. Then we moved to the Heart of Azeroth.
Which was completely unnecessary. All of the feedback and changes that the Heart of Azeroth needed were implemented, or sorry, not implemented, were identified in the beta for BFA and the beta for Legion with the Legendaries, and Blizzard just ignored them until some point in the future. So yeah, I think that's also a big issue right there. Because I actually thought that the aspect, or sorry, the essence system of the Heart of Aspects, I thought it was really good. I really liked it. I thought it was fun.
And that was Blizzard's answer to a bunch of our feedback on artifacts, but it kind of missed the point, and it was a total mess. And after that, there's Covenants, which were kind of a really scuffed answer to...
Which, again, everybody said exactly what they wanted. Blizzard ignored it.
The problem of the Heart of Azeroth having a weak fantasy. And I know that because I know that was Blizzard's internal sort of reasoning for why the Heart of Azeroth wasn't really liked by players. As in, I've talked to people who were in the presentation where